few years back, I made a video exactly like this, showcasing what I thought at the time to be my 26 favorite albums of all time. I thought it was time to do another one of these since it is 6/26/26. I thought it'd be a good day to do 26 again. And my birthday is coming up this weekend, so even more of a reason to do this, talk about some of my favorite albums of all time. And there's gonna be some repeats from last time. There's also gonna be some different things, and I put a lot of thought into. I've just been realizing lately, just like stuff that I prioritize more and stuff that has been so important to me within music and my music journey. And I feel like I can better showcase this than I did last time. But obviously it'll probably keep changing, and I'm excited to see how it will change again in the future whenever I decide to do something like this again. So but yeah, I just have these in alphabetical order. Last time I did an artist name, this time I'm going to do it in the name of the actual album. So got my list that I wrote down right here, and I have all physical editions of this in some way or form. A few burn CDs, just has printed off artwork of it. Just 3 of those, but all the rest I have physical, like real deal physical editions of these. So first album, and it's great that this like kind of lands first as well, because it's the one that got me into my favorite genre of music of all time, and it's just very special to me. One of my first like real deal albums ever really like getting into. I'm gonna turn the camera a little bit here so it can get better. But so the first album is Metallica and Justice for All. Just the album that got me into metal music. I remember my dad used to play me tons of songs off of this when I was a kid, like early elementary school. Some of the first music I ever really remember like really liking, and it'll always be special to me. And I still, after I've just dug so deep into metal music, and to this day Metallica was a very popular band, probably the most known metal band of all time, since like Iron Maiden and such. But this album is just amazing to me, and I still love the shit out of it after so like digging so deep into metal and listening to so much metal music in my entire life. This album still just stands to me. I just love it so much, like probably even more than I used to. I just love this album, just absolutely amazing. The way Blackened comes in the first song, just like the way it like slowly comes in, it's just fucking amazing. I just fucking love it. It sounds so awesome, and I just love every song on this album. It's just top-notch, amazing thrash metal. Just love the tone of the guitar. I just love everything about this, and it just has like the nostalgic aspect of it to it as well. But it's just like fucking amazing. Love this album. One of my favorite metal albums of all time, if not my favorite metal album of all time. There's one on here that is a contender to probably beat it. And here's another album that I'm excited is like kind of so early up in the thing. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. It's probably not my favorite album of all time. I've said that before. And yeah, let's just show it here. And that's Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, Architecture and Morality. This album is just amazing. Amazing synth pop album. Just reminds me of sitting in my room back in the day listening to this and just enjoying it so much, falling more and more in love with it. It's just perfect. It's just, the synth sounds are amazing. I love the sound of a synthesizer. It's one of my favorite sound in music, and they just nail it so perfectly here, like the dark atmosphere on a lot of the songs, and then just like the more kind of upbeat songs, and it's just like, and like the experimentation and wonkiness about it, just like it's fucking amazing. Like just people like experimenting with like electronic sounds and stuff, and I just love this album so much. It's just so amazing, and I will never get over it. It's just fucking amazing. But amazing synth pop album. Probably my favorite album of all time. just never get tired of that, and just like brings me such a great comfort and just like awe, and just like, oh my god, the sounds just sound so good. Next is one of my favorite CDs I own, and that is Nature and Organization, Beauty Reaps the Blood of Solitude. This is just like, when it comes to neo-folk, this is the neo-folk album to me. Like, I like a lot of other neo-folk, but I don't go back to anything else as nearly as much as this one. Love the album artwork. Love just, this thing is perfect. Like, just the way it flows, the instruments, the string instruments implemented on it, the just poetry, and the like still like bringing some like noise aspects into it as well through the beauty. It's just like, it's fucking such a cool and amazing album. I just love it so much, and just brings me just like this interesting feeling, like old-timey kind of feeling. And it's just like, yeah, like the apocalyptical folk is kind of what neo-folk kind of is, and it's just like, it like showcases it so perfectly, and just an incredible album. Next, a modern one, probably the newest album out of my whole list, and it just came out 5 years ago, but it had such a profound effect on me, and so it's still here, and I've just been realizing it a lot, and that is Injury Reserve, By the Time I Get to Phoenix. The album came out in 2021. This is one of the most unique sounding albums I've ever heard in my life. Post-rap is the best way to describe it. Just experimentation, like taken to the next level. Just the sounds are so cool on this album. The album artwork matches the music so perfectly. Just every song just flows so well together. It just gives me this sense of awe and just like surreal feel. It's just crazy. So cool sounding to me. And it's one of my prized CDs here. As you can see, I have it signed. I met the guys at a show, and saw them perform this album in full twice, and will always like cherish that time. It was a great thing to see, and I'm so glad I got to experience that, because this is just such a powerful and insane album to me. And like, out of any other like modern experimental rap hip-hop album, like, this is just the one. Like, it might be my favorite like hip-hop album of all time, if you even want to, like, it's just like, it's not your straight up hip-hop, but like that hip-hop is in there, and it's very experimental, and just, it's just so cool. It's so cool. And of course the cover's red too, and just like the cover is just so amazing. Like, it just, I can't believe how well it captures the sound on this album, and it just like really blows me away. But Injury Reserve, By the Time I Get to Phoenix, fucking amazing. Love that album. Back into some metal here. We have Judas Iscariot, The Cold Earth Slept Below, ... Amazing US black metal, USBM. This is like the definition of black metal that I like. It's just like a pure just black metal album to me. Like the just like raw, dark, evil sounding nature of this album, and just the vocals are on point, and just like the savage sounding drumming, and just like it's like a demon made this music, like with like lo-fi production, and it's just so cool. It's just like black metal like this especially is something that captivated me so much when I first discovered this style of music. And this is like the definition of what that sound that like just like captured me, and I was like, oh my god, this is so interesting sounding to me. It's like, I've always loved like spooky, scary kind of sounding shit, and like this is like kind of looked at it, I guess I could look at it as scary to an extent, but like, I don't know, like it would to like certain people, I guess, and like the way I was growing up, I guess it kind of like rubbed me that way. But I was so fascinated by it, and this is just like the definition of that. And I just really, Judas Iscariot is an amazing black metal artist, and I just really love the whole discography. But this is the debut. It came out in '95, and I just love it. It just like has a great mix of just like everything I find love in black metal. Like there's the like faster like punk kind of style like tracks. There's like a few on here that have that, and then there's just like the more like kind of drony out like gloomy melancholic atmosphere, like this like repetitive like guitar sound, like it's kind of atmospheric and just raw, and just like I don't know, I just love that shit, and that's just like exactly what I look for in black metal. So that's just, and the vocals are just so on point, and just everything is just so great about this album. So just an incredible black metal album. Next we have stone cold classic, in my opinion, an underground hip hop, Cannibal Ox, The Cold Vein. Just amazing underground, abstract, early 2000s, like for that early 2000s underground scene, New York scene, is some of my favorite like hip hop that I go back to, and just this album is like just feels like the magnum opus of that scene to me. I believe this actually came out on 9/11/01, which is crazy. But this album is just amazing, and it has connections to my favorite rapper of all time, being Billy Woods, because Billy Woods was mixed with these people in the scene with these guys. And on Billy Woods' first album, Camouflage, both of the main members of Cannibal Ox, Vast Air and Voldel Mega, are all over that album, is featured all over that album as well. And it's just so cool to me. And LP did a lot of production on here, and I really like a lot of LP's stuff from that time as well. And he was in Company Flow, of course, as well. But just really love this album, and like it has a nostalgic aspect to me too. I just remember hearing some of like the song, I know Iron Galaxy, the first song on here, was in the video game Tony Hawk Underground, and that was a big one for me. And just hearing that type of like this style of hip-hop was what I heard in those games, and was one of those games, or something that kind of just shaped my music taste as a kid and just made it to what it is today. So that's why this sound is so important to me, and just this album, for a lot of different reasons, like I just explained. And just like the sounds and like the ambient sounds and the atmosphere that it creates on the beats are just so cool to me, and that's just what I love. I just love electronic sounds, and they just nail it so well. And just like the wordplay and the rhyming, and just the cadence and everything, these guys just killed it on this album, and it's just amazing and a classic. That's what I look for in hip-hop as well. There's a lot of that kind of things there. Next, we have Gorguts, Considered Dead. One of my just favorite, just straight up death metal albums. People call them more technical. They definitely got even way more technical after this, after the first two albums. There's still a technicality to this, and I just love just like it's kind of like with like the Metallica album, just like the deep distortion tone, just is amazing. And just like the vocals, and of course the great spooky cover, it's just like obviously gonna pull me in. And it's just, when it comes to death metal, that's just like the one thing that just pulled me in so much with death metal music. Just the album artworks, just like the atmosphere of them, just the sounds. It's like what like I've always been like needed to be into, and it's crazy I didn't find it as like a kid or something. I just found it, like I was still pretty much a kid when I found it, like my later kid years. But it's just like something I just like, it's so me, it's so for me, and something I just like love so much, and I've always like gravitated towards this stuff. So when it comes to old school death metal, I am such a sucker for it. The cool album artwork, this amazing cool music, and just everything about it, I just fucking love it. So Gorguts, Canadian band, just love this album. This is a really important one to me when I first got into death metal and just extreme metal in general. So I still just love this album. It's just an amazing death metal album. Here next we have Burn CD. It's Playboi Carti, Die Lit. It's a trap album, trap rap album. Can't call it hip hop. as some people get angry with me. But I love this album. I was very close-minded to trap music and like modern music a lot when I discovered this album, and this is the one that kind of opened my mind to it more and realized how fun and just like goofy and just cool and like interesting it can sound. There's like this, like the thing with like the beats are just very atmospheric, and like Playboi Carti specifically is more kind of like that psychedelic trap sound, and I just love that. I just love the spaced out druggy sounding beats that are just like trippy sounding and just like they're so cool sounding to me. I just love stuff like that, and just the goofy ass lyrics, and just Playboi Carti's fucking hot, and just like everything. It's just like I love this shit, and it's just so fun, and just makes me just want to dance around and just like space out to the beats and shit. It's just like I really love it, and it's just like it's that connection to my like when I was in high school. I was really into just like modern rap music. I was listening to a lot of rap around that time, like A$AP Rocky, Kendrick Lamar, Kanye, also just stuff like that, Mac Miller and such. So it like has a connection to that sound that is this kind of like reflects like the sound of what trap was evolving into at that time when I was listening to stuff in that kind of scene. Even though I did kind of like more gravitate more towards like the alternative rap scene to an extent, but trap just like evolved into this, and I feel like this is just like a perfect trap album. Just like captures trap so perfectly, and we'll just have that connection to me in the past, and this is just such a fun album, and just so fun to just listen to. Next classic to me, really important one as well, probably one of the most important ones when it comes to this stuff, and that is Burzum, Filosofem, Norwegian black metal classic. Even though Var wouldn't call it black metal, he doesn't consider his music black metal, but atmospheric black metal, in my opinion, is what it sounds like. And this is what kind of got me into black metal. It's the first black metal album I ever listened to, and I still absolutely love it so much. The atmosphere, just the distortion of the guitar, the atmosphere it creates, his vocals, the like fantasy just vibe to the whole thing. It's just amazing, and I've just fallen more and more in love with this album and like different aspects of the album. Like recently it's been more of like the ambient side. I love the ambience on this album, just the long ambient 25-minute ambient song. Just thoroughly enjoy listening to it now, like all the way through. Used to get bored with it a little bit when I first started listening to it, but it brings me such a great comfort and just joy now. And this album artwork is amazing. It reminds me of like fall time, like Halloween, kind of around. It kind of has a little bit of the spooky vibes, like I was saying, and I just fucking love that shit. And it just makes me so comforted, and just reminds me of going on nice walks in the forest and listening to this, and just being such an escape for me. And I just love it so much. It's just such an incredible and important album for me. Next, another kind of connection to my childhood, and that is Thursday, Full Collapse. I didn't get into this album until later, but it reminds me of stuff from when I was a kid, just that post-hardcore sound. I was very into post-hardcore, and especially being into like Tony Hawk video games. There's a lot of post-hardcore artists on there, especially on Tony Hawk's American Wasteland when they did those old punk covers. Thursday actually covered the song Ever Fallen in Love by the Buzzcocks, and that was like the first song I ever like heard of them. And then I got into this later, and this is just a perfect post-hardcore album. I love every aspect of this. It's so fun. Everything I look for in that style of music is here, and I just wish I would have been listening to this more. Like I would have just got. I'm fine. I don't wish anything. I'm happy I discovered it when I did, and I'm happy that I discovered it in general. But I wish I would have been people who were listening, like I said in my I made another video showcasing this album as well, and I just feel like the people that would have been listening to this music, I should have been connected with at the time. It reminds me of like middle school, and like I just was not in with the right people, and I want to be in with people who were listening to cool shit like this. I was like trying to mask myself to like be with these people that I thought I was supposed to be with, but I was supposed to be with the cool alternative kids, and I just kind of wish I was at the time, but now I've learned, and this just like this sound just kind of makes me think of that. And it's also somewhat connected to my wife. I showed her this album and we just like vibed out hard to this shit, and she loves post-hardcore, and just makes me think of her, and she's like one of those people that I should have been connected with back in the day. Just the weirdos, awesome alternative people, and the best people in the world in my opinion. So cool shit, great album, perfect post-hardcore album. Next, I might have to sneeze here in a second, can't tell, sneeze in my nose, but it went away for now. Boards of Canada, Geogaddi. Oh my god, this album makes me feel like nothing I've ever made me feel before. It's some of the craziest sounds I've ever heard in my entire life that just send me into like this like insane like trance state sometimes, and just like blows my mind. Like makes me just want to like stare at the sky and just like blank faced, like with my mouth open, just like experiencing this insane feeling in my body. Like it's like a drug. It's so crazy to me. And the sounds on this thing are just amazing. The ambient sounds, just like the like down tempo sounding like hip hop-esque instrumental things on here, and it's just like it's so weird at the same time, and just like surreal sounding. It's so surreal sounding, and it's just so cool to me. Just the electronic music sound, just like everything about electronic music and why I like it is here. It just like blows my mind, like insane. Like nothing makes me feel the way these sounds make me feel, and just such an incredible album. It reminds me of when I went on a trip with my dad to New York, and just riding on the train and going into the city and seeing the way the sun shines on like the buildings and stuff at certain times of day. Listening to this just matches that so perfectly to me. Like there's just something about I don't know, it just like matches up perfect, and it was just like, it's just amazing and so surreal to me, and it's just such an amazing album. Gyroscope is an amazing song, probably one of my favorite songs of all time. That song just blows me away, like insane, makes my body feel crazy. And then Dawn Chorus, oh my god. I fucking love that shit. It's just absolutely fucking amazing. Just so many great songs, just amazing album, and just the sounds are just so fucking cool. Like it's just so cool sounding. It's just the best way to put it. Next, we got Decomposed, Hope Finally Died. It's a death doom album. This band is from the UK, England, and this is the only full length they ever released. And this is just an amazing album, probably one of my favorite CDs in my collection. This is a very rare CD. I'm so happy I got this. It's in amazing condition. I talked about it in my most recent CD, one of my most recent CD videos. But fucking Death Doom done perfectly. Like my favorite Death Doom album easily. I'm not like a huge fan of just straight up doom metal. But I do like the riffs that it creates, and if you mix it with death metal, it's perfect for me. I just really love like death doom in general, and this one I just feel like does it so perfectly in my eyes. And I just love the doomy sounds with just like mixed in with like the more faster paced like death metal, and just like the death metal guttural vocals. It's just amazing. I just love this album, and I feel like it's underrated. Don't really hear people talking about this album very much, and it's just like it just brings me a great deal of comfort and amazing. I remember finding this album and just being so excited about it, and it's like one of those albums that, like, when I was digging deeper into like extreme metal and I found this, I was like, this is fucking awesome. So just reminds me of that too. But Decomposed, Hope Finally Died, ... Amazing fucking album, amazing Death Doom album. Next, it's not an official cover here, but it's the best cover of this. It's Charli XCX, How I'm Feeling Now. My wife drew this cover for me, a version of the cover. It's basically the same. It's a burn CD of it. A lot of my modern stuff I like to burn CDs of for the most part. But probably my favorite pop album, definitely my favorite modern pop album. This came out in 2020, right around the COVID lockdown, and that's kind of what this album's reflecting. Loneliness. I was already so lonely at the time, so it was good to have someone to... I had been lonely for years. A lot of people were lonely at that time, but I had been lonely. I specifically been lonely for years, and to like have somebody else, like hearing other people like relate to that was important to me at the time. And just like, this is just like the exact sounds I'm looking for in her style of music, and why she's my favorite like modern pop artist. Just like the hyper pop sounds, the like kind of experimental sounding pop music, and I just love it. It's just perfect sounding to me, and I just love every song, and just like it makes me feel, as I've said before, it makes me feel like a hot girl. I just want to be like a hot emo sad girl, and this album makes me feel that way, and I can be that way, and I can express myself that way. And when I sing along to it, and just like, it's just fucking awesome. I just love the way it makes me feel, and it's just fucking awesome, and I just love this album so much. Next, Dying Fetus, Killing on Adrenaline. Incredible, brutal death metal album. Just comforting to me. It has like that hardcore kind of sound to it to an extent. You can hear like the hardcore kind of like more punk sounding like influence on this, but it has like just that brutal sound to it. And this is like the first brutal death metal album I ever heard, and it's just special to me and reminds me of the time. And it was like November, and I just really like that time of year too, and just like finding this stuff was so exciting to me at that time too. And I love just like the block letters, the red block letters, and just such a great album, just like a big fuck you album. Like, I love that like aspect of it. It's just like, fuck you, fuck everybody. Like, yeah, it's just awesome. I just love that shit so much. Then we got another classic. It's Entombed, Left Hand Path. One of the first death metal albums I ever heard and got into, and just still love this shit. Just absolutely classic Swedish death metal album, like the Swedish death metal album, a lot of people would say, and I can agree with that. It's just like it's just such a classic, and just captured that Stockholm sound, the Sunlight Studio sound, like that buzzsaw guitar sound. It was like something that was like very very prevalent in this, like that style of music. It was like a highlight of that like that sound that was recorded at that studio that they got from the Swedish bands. So this is just an amazing Swedish death metal, stone cold classic. I love like the spookiness to it, and the album artwork is amazing, and there's just like another thing that just captures like why I love this style of music so much, and what captured me so much in the first place. So next we have David Bowie, Low. This also reminds me of like kind of like orchestral maneuvers, like sitting in my room listening to this record. So important to me. This is one of the albums that really got me into ambient music. The second side is ambient. There's just a lot of instrumental tracks on this, and this was such a big, I was just reading about it the other day. This just like was such a big like turn for David Bowie, and just like shows his artistry. Like he just like wanted to do a weird like electronic album, and just like around the same time as Brian Eno started making his ambient stuff, and they worked together on this and on Heroes. And this is just like just so amazing. I just love the way this album makes me feel, and how it had to grow on me, and how it's just grew on me so intensely. Some of my favorite albums of all time are albums that have grown on me, and I didn't like as much at first, but they've grown on me tremendously. And this is definitely a good representation of that. I love this album. It just makes me feel so good, so comforted, especially the second side. And just love the ambient sounds on this album. Just absolutely make me feel euphoric and just like comforted and just like awe and amazing. Just love it. David Bowie is an incredible artist. Wish I could have met him. Just like very influential person to me, and I just really admire him a lot. So next we have Ghost, Opus, Eponymous. It's their debut album. I got into this around the time I was getting into extreme metal as well, and I was just finding different types of like metal music and some more modern metal music. And I just love this album. Like perfect spooky vibes, perfect spooky sounds, like occult sounding. Just like, oh, I love the sounds on this album. It reminds me of like Halloween. It's around the time I got into it too, so it was like perfect timing. Like, always loved stuff like this, just like the artwork and just like the spookiness. I've always loved Halloween so much, and that's just what this reminds me of. And just like just has that like there's elements of like heavy metal in it, and just like the like progressive like synth passages, and just like the fun spooky sounding vocals and like satanic lyrics. It's just so fun, and God, this album just makes me feel so comforted, and just like I just love it so much. And I love their logo, and I just love this band. They're such a great band, and just so fun, and just they're just so great, and I really like them. And I hope to see them live someday, even though I don't really like going to stadium tours and stuff like that, big shows like that. I think it would be cool to see them live sometime, but we'll see if that opportunity ever arises for me. Next we have The Devil Wears Prada, Plagues. It's my favorite metalcore album of all time. This one will always stand out to me when it comes to metalcore. I love this. This is the CD I got when I was in 6th grade. I remember I got it from Best Buy. And it's just like when it comes to metalcore, it has every aspect I love about metalcore, and this was like the album that I really loved when I got into metalcore. Back around that time, there was a guy at my school that got me into metalcore and stuff like this, and I was very interested. And a lot of people just called it like screamo. It's not actually screamo, but normie people always call stuff screamo. And I didn't know as much about musical genres at the time, but like the melodicness, like the melodic death metal influence, of course, of metalcore, especially around this time. This came out in 2007. Wouldn't call it a full out like at the gates like copy band or anything, but they obviously, the metalcore at its like this time was very influenced by that melodic death metal sound, Swedish melodic death metal sound, the Gothenburg sound. But this is just like amazing, like the atmospheric like vocals like echoing, and just the sounds on this thing, the vocals like going from like the nice like singy echoey ones to just like the more like brutal like screaming raspy ones. I just love that shit, and it's just like such a great mix of stuff, and I just love the way it sounds. It's so cool, and I just love it so much, and it's such a great album. Next we have The Cure, Pornography. One of my favorite post-punk album of all time. The atmosphere on this album is amazing. It's so gloomy, and I feel like this is just peak Cure for me, like their early stuff. I really love their first 4 albums, and this is my favorite out of those. Just absolutely fucking amazing. Love the way this thing sounds. It's like kind of has a surreal kind of feel to it as well, and like especially like on the song A Strange Day. That one really sticks out to me a lot on here, but just perfectly cohesive 10 out of 10 album. Just every song is amazing. It flows so well together. It's so dark sounding, and I just love it so much. And just reminds me of sitting in my room listening to this too, and just falling in love with this album. Is the one I didn't love initially either, but it's just fallen in love with it intensely, and I just love it so much. It's just such a fucking cool, perfect post-punk goth album, and I just love it so much. It's so fucking awesome. Next, have him, Razorblade Romance. Another one reminds me when I was a kid. Wasn't listening to it that much as a kid, but as I got older, it reminded me of that sound that I would hear a lot. And love this album artwork. Bill Vallow looking nice, and just the dark pink background and the black mixed on his thing. It's just like, oh, it's just the type of shit I loved as a kid and still love now, and just get such a comfort from. And you go, like, when I go to Hot Topic and Spencer's Gifts and stuff, like, that's just like the vibe I get from this album. The mall goths, the mall emos guys. But this album is just so fun. It's just so fun. It reminds me of Bam Margera, of course. Bam Margera was obsessed with this album and this band, and I was really into him as a kid. I was really into skateboarding. I still am really into skateboarding, but specifically at that time, this just went along with that culture. But Finnish band, so just fun poppy kind of like goth metal, and just singing about love, like a vampire love album is what I always call it. Just like that deep vocal style reminds me of Count Dracula, and just singing about being hopeless romantic basically, and it's just fucking amazing. I just love this album. It's so fun to sing along to, so catchy, and just like, it's just such a cool sound, and I love it. And down to the wire here, got 5 left it looks like, so, or 6 maybe here, yeah, 6. Next is Immortal, Sons of Northern Darkness. Trying to get this to not catch the light too bad. It's kind of a dark cover, but this somewhat reminds me of when I was a kid too. The song One by One was in the Tony Hawk Project 8 soundtrack. One of probably my favorite video game soundtrack of all time. That soundtrack is fucking amazing, fire, amazing. But especially, it's crazy that I had a fucking Immortal track on it too, and that's fucking awesome. But love this album. It took me a while to get into this style of black metal, like the more produced, like, sounding. Didn't really like it as much at first, but I've gotten more into it, and I really like this album. Like, very just like shows that like growth for me, and just has that like more comforting feel because I knew that song from that album, from that video game, and how comforting that video game is to me. And then just like listening to this and just realizing it's a 10 out of 10, amazing. It's fun, goofy, German thrash inspired black metal album, and I just love this shit. It's such a great album. There's goofy motherfuckers on the cover, and Immortal is just an amazing band, and have like their whole discography is just fucking fire. They have such a great like mix of like just black metal sounds, and I just love their just like goofiness, and just, but also like just they keep it so dark and like heavy and shit, and I just love it. But Immortal's one of those bands, like if I could only listen to like certain bands, so only like one band's discography, certain bands' discographies for the rest of my life, like a certain number of bands, and Immortal would definitely be one of them. Like, amazing black metal, and just like have such a great like diverse like catalog of their like black metal sound, but still staying so true to themselves throughout it. It's just such a fucking great band. This is probably my favorite. That is my favorite Immortal album. Just fucking awesome. You know, it's pretty hard to pick from their stuff. Next, just have a little picture of this one. So I just have a burned CD. It says like a 2 on it, but the Smiths, 2 albums on it. But this, the Smiths, Strangeways, Here We Come. Their final studio album. They did their 4 like regular full-length studio albums, and This, I'd say, I think most people consider this their like least favorite, but this is definitely my favorite. I'd say at this point in my life. I just think it has there's so many fun songs on it. It just has a great atmosphere to it, and it just like wraps up the Smiths sound so much. And the Smiths music is very comforting to me, and it's so fun to sing along to, like the like hilariously like miserable, sad lyrics, depressing lyrics, and just Morrissey's voice and just the style is just like so unique, and I just always love this stuff and got such a great comfort from it. And my wife has been really into the Smiths in her life too, so like I have a connection to it in that way too. But it'll really remind me of me back in the day when I got into the Smiths. It was like around the same time as getting into extreme metal too, honestly, which is interesting, and like that Carti album. So it was an interesting time for music for me. It was like a lot of this stuff a lot of these albums is concentrated in that time in my life. It was such a great, insane time for music discovery for me, and it was just finding how much comfort I get from music. And this is just such a great album. Has the song it has Girlfriend in a Coma, and The Death of a Disco Dancer. There's some highlights on this album. Amazing album, just a great overall Smiths album, and very underrated, I'd say. Alright, this is probably my favorite metal album of all time, right up there with Metallica. These are like side by side ish, and that's Death, Symbolic. The album that got me into extreme metal, one of the first ones I ever listened to and started loving, and I love the shit out of this album. It's so fucking amazing. Progressive death metal sound. Just an amazing fucking band. They just have an amazing discography. The way they grew and their sound throughout the discography is amazing, and how their logo changed with the growth of their music, like, it's so interesting to me and just like so fucking awesome. But this fucking album, man, amazing. 10 out of 10. Amazing metal album. Fucking love this thing so much. Love singing along to it, just being like nerdy, and just fucking loving it so much. Like the song Without Judgment. Without judgment, what would we do? We would be forced to look at ourselves immersed in lost time. I just fucking love that song. And just like that, there's the part in that song too where it's like your frivolous calculations will be abolished. And it like goes into that shit. I fucking love that shit so much. I just cannot like not be goofy about it and like sing that shit hard. And just like fucking Crystal Mountain is amazing. Zero Tolerance, the title track, like every fucking song is just fucking amazing and so much fun. I fucking love this album. It's fucking perfectly well done, amazing metal album. Like perfect metal album right here, and just love it so fucking much. So high quality, amazing, so much fun. Fucking love this shit so much. And that fucking album artwork, bro, come on now, look at that fucking shit. It's so important to me, so influential to me. It's just so fucking sick. I love that fucking shit, man. God, I love that fucking album, man. Alright, another one of my favorite black metal albums of all time, Darkthrone, Under a Funeral Moon. One of the first black metal albums I ever got into. This album artwork captured me, captivated me. It's what made me fall in love with that shit. I loved the spookiness, weird, like, vampire figure in the dark, and then you just hear these, like, insane vocals, like a fucking demon is singing this shit. Fucking love it. So raw sounding. True Norwegian black metal. Fucking love this album. It's one I come back to the most, and just has such a great comforting feel to me. Just want to walk through the forest and listen to some fucking raw black metal. This is it right here. Darkthrone. One of the best to ever do it. Next, we got Joy Division, Unknown Pleasures. It's really hard to pick between the two main Joy Division albums, but I had to go with this one. This is the one that got me into them, and just like it makes me feel so insane. But I do love Closer very much, very similarly to this one, but this, and they're very different from each other. But this album is just amazing. I just love it. Perfect post-punk, just like a magnum opus post-punk album. So many people have tried to copy the sound on this and have been so influenced by this, this album is fucking amazing, bro. Like, it comes in with Disorder, and just like She's Lost Control, Inner Zone, that like punk inspired song. I Remember Nothing, just like experimental, just like crashing sound, like smashing shit. Every song on this is just amazing. It's just so amazing. And it just like has this tone and just this atmosphere that nobody's ever completely matched, and just like was so unique and important and just influential. And it's just, I love this fucking album. It's so awesome. Joy Division. Just love post-punk and goth music, and this is like so influential to that. It's just amazing shit. The last album I have here was very important to me and has intrigued me a lot. This is Dead Can Dance, Within the Realm of a Dying Sun. Neoclassical dark wave, Australia. Brennan and Lisa. Brennan Perry and Lisa Gerard. What can you say about the duo? They've made amazing music. This sound just like intrigued me so much. Another one I didn't really like that much at first, and I had to grow on me, and I had to get more into it. I had to grow in my music taste. I had to mature in my music taste, and this is like another like big one that like reflects that in me. And this influence, like even black metal to an extent. I know Varga Burzum really liked Dead Can Dance, and his ambient stuff was influenced by this, like the sounds, the spooky like dungeony kind of sounds, like kind of like influenced dungeon synth, the like subgenre of black metal. And it's so great of an album, and just like the classical sounds to it, just like the sense. And this is just like, I just feel like the best overall, most cohesive album. And I just love how like the first side is like Brennan songs and the second side is Lisa songs. It's just split so perfectly, but it's just all still flows so well together. And I just love this album. It's so cool. So many cool sounds. Just shows like a growth and like music appreciation for me. And this album artwork is amazing. The statue, I think, is at a cemetery in France. Just really fucking awesome stuff, and just very unique sounding music. They're a very interesting band, artist group, whatever you want to call them, that have their like post-punk goth background, but created their own kind of sound with the neoclassical instrumentation, and then like more world music later on. But this is like peak like neoclassical darkwave, like a just pivotal neoclassical darkwave album, and just one that's intrigued me so much over the years. So yeah, but that's my list for right now. If I had to do an honorable mention, that's why I wore this shirt, it would have to be this album here, Nails on Silent Death. Unofficial. Gotta keep it 26, but might make it on the list later. We'll see if it changes, if something changes up at all on me. But this album is fucking sick as fuck. Brutal, fast, intense, in your face. Love that shit. Fuck everybody kind of aspect as well. Love that shit. But that's my list. That's my 26 favorite albums of all time right now, June 2026. June 26, 2026, 62626. Perfect time to do 26 albums again. So a little bit different than last time. I've more come into myself, like discovered more things about myself and what I admire in music and what I gravitate more towards in music, and this reflects it as of how I'm feeling now, and we'll see how it changes in the future. So let me know your favorite albums in the comments. Love hearing from you guys. Let me know if you like any, you haven't heard of any of these albums, you're intrigued by them, please listen to them and let me know what you think about them. I love talking about stuff like that. I love listening to music and like bonding with people over music. So please indulge me a little bit here and have fun, and we can talk about things, so if you want to. But that's why I made this channel in the first place, so connect with people about music specifically. So thank you for watching. Hope you liked it, and I'll see you guys later.